Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. In this episode, we're needing to work towards getting to the next story mission by doing some basic cars and such. So let's see what we have available and find something that'd be fun to work on. So we've got this Sceo Roamer here, which is interesting. Put a new engine and filter, engine oil and filter. Loud when accelerating, gearbox shifts rough. So basically gearbox work there. Not a huge deal. That one's not as interesting looking. A Lotus E-Spirit, interesting. Repair all engine faults. The engine is working, but it's choppy. Brake system needs fixing. Loud when accelerating. Smith and Parker Roadster. Basic car. Mojave Storm. Imperator here. You know what? I want to go with this Sceo Roamer. It's a unique looking car, so we'll get it. Definitely has seen better days, but still a nice looking car overall. Alright, so let's see here again. We need an oil filter, change the oil. We have to figure out what's going on there, and it's probably going to be the gearbox overall that we're going to have to look at. So let's go ahead and just put it up onto the lifter here, and we'll go ahead and get to work on it. We're going to have to get the oil out in order to take the gearbox as it is. So let's get it up in the air. Do need to still get some points in order to get to that next level. So let's go ahead and move this into place or by the first car lifter here, and we'll go ahead and use it. Get all that oil out. Alright, move it back. And then we can get to work. Alright, so first thing we're going to need to take off is the starter here in order to get to this gearbox. That's enough. And we're also going to have to take out the drive shaft, which means the long distance unbolting. Also could use a new muffler here, it looks like. Wondering if that's the thing that's making it loud while accelerating. Alright, that actually all looks good there, so let's go ahead, move around, get the oil filter if we can. There we go. Got that off. And then let's go ahead and get this muffler off too, because I have a feeling this might be a problem. Alright, we got all those parts off. Let's go ahead and check our list here. So we've got those. It is the rear muffler. I was correct there. Perfect. So we're going to need those pieces. Gearbox. Here. So let's see. Gearbox. For a V8. OHV. Don't know if there's any other letters. I believe it's just the OHV, but I better check to make sure. Don't need to be buying an expensive gearbox when I don't need to be. Yep, just the standard OHV. There we go. $855. Alright, then the muffler. So that one can go away. We're going to go ahead and put parts in place by name. So we need a V8 OHV oil filter, and same for the muffler. So let's go in here. I wonder if I can just type in V8 OVH or OHV. 8 OHV. See what happens here. Comes up with all these parts. Let's see. We need the muffler parts here. It's gonna be easier just going rear muffler. And we'll even narrow it down more. Alright, so we got that. Then we need an oil filter for a V8 OHV. Here we are. Perfect. Compare them just to make sure they are correct. That one is. So we'll get rid of that, and that one is, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, so now we can go ahead and add the parts back on. Let's go ahead and add parts. We'll put in the new rear muffler. We'll head over in this direction. Put that in place. Put the starter back on. Get this oil filter put back on. And then the drive shaft. Really not a long job here, very simple, but you know what? Still rewarding. We did make this car quite a bit better here. Alright, so now I believe all we have left is just to change the oil. Oops, wrong location. Yeah, we need to change the oil. Those ones are already taken care of. So let's go ahead and lower it. And we'll get that hood open and get the oil. There we go. Fill it up with oil. Alright. We'll check the stick here. Looks good. Shut that hood. And we should be good to go. Perfect. As I said, cheap little fix, but you know what? Very rewarding. So let's see what we got for our next vehicle here. Alright, Salem Spec... Whoop. Oh, we already did one of these. It was cool, but we already did one. We also did a Revolucion, I believe. I'm not sure if we did that one. That one does look different. What does this need? Suspension rattling. You know what? It's a very pretty car, so let's go ahead and do it. Now that's a nice looking car. Really gorgeous. Alright. So we have to find the parts. So you know what the best way to do that, I'd say, is? Let's go ahead and take it over the test path. I mean, it's important in order to test it, in order to find out which suspension parts it is we need. And the fact that I'm going to get to enjoy being in the driver's seat of it is just a bonus. Alright, so we found one part. Double wishbone shock absorber, but we actually surprisingly find the other two parts. I have to say, while these cars look beautiful on the outside, the amount of noise inside, and the fact of how they're built just is not my thing. I want a car to be comfortable on the inside, and these just look sort of rough. They're built more just to go fast, which I can appreciate, but not really my style. Let's go ahead and take it out here onto the test track and see if we can find out what suspension parts are rattling here. apologize for the loudness of that. Good lord. Yeah, I'd much rather stick with like a Corvette or something that does sound nice, but you still have eardrums left afterwards. Alright, so the outer tie rod and the sway bar. I mean, the test was important. We found the parts that we need to get, but good lord, that was loud. I wonder if in the helmets there they have some padding over the ears to help not make you go deaf while driving something like this. Alright. Well, now we know all the parts, so let's go ahead and take it over to the car lifter, and we'll get to work on it. I do find it funny how this shop works, where we have 1 minute a rusty piece of junk that looks like it should be going to the scrapyard, and the next minute we have, you know, something like this. Alright, so all pieces are actually right on this side here, so let's go ahead and just lift it up fully. Then we'll take everything off on this side in order to get to it a bit easier. Alright, so we got the parts off. The one we're going to have to separate over here. Let's go ahead and separate it, and then we'll buy the parts we need, put it back together. Alright, so we need outer tie rod, sway bar, front end link B. We'll get those two first. Outer tie rod. Trying to type a bit too fast there. Sway bar. There we go. Whoop. Just so we can compare them against each other, just to ensure that what we got is the correct stuff. Alright, and then we need a double wishbone shock absorber. Double wishbone shock. Alright. Verify it's correct. It is. Good to go. Let's go ahead and use this. Put these parts back together. Then we can slap it back in the car. Alright, first things first. Put that in place. Then we'll get the sway bar in place. Then the outer tie rod. Now we can start putting this all back together. We didn't have to take it all apart here, but you know, I just wanted some clear space to work and see. So I felt it was easier taking that off. Really, he should get that brake fixed because it doesn't look that great. Alright, and that should be that. Yep, everything's done. Nice little payday there, and we've reached the next level. So with that, we have a point to spend. Let's see what we can do. 100%. Let's see. We've got odds of successful repairs increased. Unscrewing 3 parts at the same time. 10% faster walking. 50% faster installing and removing. You know, of these things, I think I'd rather have the repair. Rather be able to start repairing some parts maybe at a point. Feel like I'm unscrewing things and screwing them in well enough. So let's go ahead and get that. Alright. And so with that, we can see what the next mission's going to be. It's going to be a Cobra. Very nice. Now, that is a cool car. And it moved it on us. Alright. So, it looks like we are going to have... Okay, so I will read through that fully for you guys in the next episode. But evidently this Cobra is going to be in a little bit of disrepair thanks to the husband. And it's bad enough that she's getting a divorce out of it. So with that in mind, should be interesting to see this car when we get it back. But if you enjoyed what we did in this episode, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and hope to see you again for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.